Hey guys, and welcome back to G Can't Play. Here with another strategy to test out for you guys. This one, I don't know how I feel about it. It's a very small twist on a strategy I've done before and a very common strategy. One that I think has proven to be pretty effective, but I've been playing it a little bit the past wee while and it just hasn't worked out for me. I don't know whether that's just bad luck, bad rolls, or there's a flaw in the system, which may be the case, but let's jump in and we will see how we go. So the original is a classic. It's the 678. So if you don't know how that works, you are placing a don't pass. So you're betting on the 7. And then you're also playing the 6 and the 8. Now, the reason for these three numbers are they are the most common numbers to occur on the roll of a dice. There's more chances of these numbers rolling than any other. And this way we have them all covered. And it's sort of a bit of a hedge. So you've got $24 out here on the 6 and the 8. If the 7 does come, you win $25. So you're up $1 against the 7. And then on the other side, if the 6s and the 8s are hitting, you're obviously making money off there. It's up to you whether you're just going to keep it at this level and collect, or if you want to press and collect, play some other bets. That's a decision for when the dice are rolling. The twist that we are going to do in this case is we're just going to hedge it a little bit more on the come out roll. The reason for that is as you are starting when the puck is off, this $25 here is vulnerable to a 7 or an 11. So if either of those two numbers roll, then you are losing this $25. So the way we hedge that, and I think the issue I've come across with this strategy is it is quite a big initial layout. So the way we're going to hedge against that is we're going to put $2 here on the Yo 11 coming out. So this one's 15 for 1. So if this $2 hits, we make $28. So it's not 2-1, it's 4-1. So that means you, including the $2 that you're putting down, is $30, so $28 profit. So if the 11 comes, this $25 loses, but you win $28. So you're making $3. So that's covering 1. The other hedge, which is the most dangerous one, is laying the 10. And in order to cover your bets, because the Yo 11, the 11 here, is a one-off bet. So if 11 doesn't come, you're going to lose that $2 regardless. And then if the 7 comes, you're going to lose this 25, so that's 27 total. Is to put $60 on the lay bet here. If that 60 does come, you will win $30 minus the 1, I believe. So $29 total, $27 loss, so you'll be a positive $2. The reason we put it on the 10, you can either put it on the 4 or the 10, that's your choice, whichever one you prefer, is because there's much less rolls of the dice for the 4 or the 10. So on the 10, there's only 2 ways a 10 can roll. That's a 6 and a 4, and a 5 and a 5. So you don't want to lay these inside numbers because they're more likely to pop out here. So this is the initial hedge. So if a 7 comes, we're covered. If an 11 comes, we're covered. But obviously, the risk is if in this come out roll, we roll a 10, we're going to lose that whole $60 and then we're down from the get-go. And with this strategy, it does take a while to build up. So you're not going to be making that money back quickly. And then if you do roll out a 7, you're going to be down. You can take this hedge further. I mean, you can keep hedging, and you can maybe put a hard 10 down. I haven't calculated what numbers would work with this. But say like putting another $5 on here and then putting $5 on here, sort of thing. That takes out one version of the 10. But that's getting a bit too complicated, and we want to keep it fairly simple for this. Now, we'll get started, and we'll get into the 6, 7, 8 part of it as well. So there you go. There's a good example. The 7 came. We won $30 there. minus the VIG, which is 1. So $2 profit. So that is our hedge working for us. So if we'd just done the normal 6, 7, 8, we had the $25 down here. That 7 would have come, we just would have lost $25. Start again. So we'll pop that out again. So yeah, when I've been testing it, the issue I ran into a lot was hitting a lot of points and weirdly getting a lot of 10s as the point. So I don't know if that's just my bad luck or it's a flaw in strategy, but we'll see how we go when we roll it out here on the video. So there we go, there's another 7. So far it's working out for us. We hit a 3, which is good. That's always a good little bonus. You hit a 2 or a 3, you don't pass as getting paid. And what you'll notice is we lose that prop bet down here every time because it's a one-off bet. And there we go, we're off and running. So what we do now is, obviously we lose that one because it's a one-off bet. We don't leave this up, we take this one down. We don't want that $60 sitting there waiting for a 10 to hit. And then we go into the 6, 7, 8, which is 7's covered here, the 6 and the 8 are covered here. If a 7 was to come now, we'd win $1 because there's 24 out here, 25 here. And what you want to do is you want to hit a couple times to cover hitting the point. So we really don't want to see an 8, we only really want to see a 6 at this point because if the 8 hits, we lose that 25. So we'd love to see 2 6s, and then we don't mind too much because then we are covered again because the 6 would win us $14 each time. That's $28, so we don't mind losing the 25 because we would be up $3 at that point. There we go. So there's the 8 hit. So we still mitigate our losses a little bit. As you can see, we only lost an 11. What we do here is we don't redo the don't pass here. We're just going to roll it out until the shooter is done. So you only start again when you're at a new shooter, or you lose that don't pass while the puck is off at the start. So what we want to see here is we want another point established and we want to see another hit, and that'll cover us. So we don't want to see a 7 here because that'll put us down. We'd love to see a 6 or an 8 here. And there's a couple of ways you can play it. You can wait for the 2 hits so that you're out of the hand, out of the roll, and then you can start building up some more numbers, building up the 6 and 8. Or you can start building, if you're a bit more aggressive, you can start building straight away. But obviously that profit doesn't go into your bank until it goes into your bankroll. If it's out there on the table and the 7 comes, you're going to lose it. So you really got to think about how aggressive you want to be. Okay, 4, 10, we're happy for that to hit at the moment because we don't have any money out there at this point, so we don't mind a 10 there. There we go. Okay, and this up here shows you that we're now ahead. We've got $24 in bets out there. We've made $28 total. And you can see here in the rack, we're up $4. So positive overall. If these 2 are lose, we'd still be up this shooter. Still on the first shooter as well. We're up to roll number 16 on the first shooter. And if we were to take these down and just wait for the 7 to come, we'd make $30. So this isn't a big winner. It can be, but you need long rolls for it to become a big winner. So now that we're up, what we can do is we can start using that money. So $14, I'm going to take 12 of that, and I'm going to build up the 6 and the 8. Okay, that worked out, another 6. So here's where you want to make a decision. Do you want to take a little bit more profit, press and collect, or you want to go a bit more aggressive? I'm just going to go a little bit aggressive here because, yeah, I just want to make the most out of this roll. But obviously it could backfire and we could end up with winning just $7 instead of being up a bit more there. So paying attention to how many rolls have come, where you're at with your bankroll, that sort of stuff can be important, especially if you're playing for actual money. But because we're testing out a strategy and it's on an electronic game for not real money, we can be a bit more aggressive because it doesn't hurt us as much. Okay, we're sticking to outside numbers at the moment. Lots of fours. Look at this, 5 fours. The most common number is a 4. So as I was saying before, there's one of the least common numbers, and we're hitting those all the time. So this was lucky for us that we had lost that earlier. We didn't have that hedge sitting up there because that would have been a $60 hit. Okay, there we go. We're going to collect that one. So now, worst case scenario, we're going to be up $28 for our first shooter. 9. Okay, so that's we're spreading out, paid off. And we're going to take that 14. We're going to use 12 of it. And we're going to build up the 6 and 8 a little bit more. And we want to hit those, build up those inside numbers because they do occur more often. I say as we hit another 9. I'm going to collect that one as well, just to have a little bit of profit. Oh, there we go, 3 9s in a row. Okay, we'll use that. 14, we'll use 10 of that, and we'll build up the 5 and the 9. Nice long roll. With most of these strategies, you're going to make money if you're getting up to roll number 28. But as you can see, it is quite a slow burn, this one. I mean, if we were to take everything down now, we're making $130. That's pretty good. But as we're still playing, if 7 was to come now, we're only actually making $48, so just about $50. Whereas if you were playing something like a triple lux or just, betting across a roll this long, you would have been making a lot more money at this stage. So a bit more risk up front with those sort of strategies, but you can make a bit more money. Okay, 5, 21. We're going to collect that one. I'm pretty happy with the profit overall now, so get a bit more aggressive. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to place the 4 and 10. So now we got all the numbers covered. And we'll use those outside numbers to feed the 6 and 8. And there we go. Looks like putting it down on film helps a lot better when you're playing it by myself. I'm getting a lot of points hit and losing my don't pass and getting lots of 10s as the point. So I'm going to build this one up 6 because we won that $18 on the 10. So I've got those up to 30 now. That's nice. Would love to see another 6 or 8 hit here before the roll is over. And what we'll do is we'll collect those 6s and 8s and we'll use the outside numbers to build up, but not in this case. So as you can see, before that disappears, we were at 1686 total if we'd pulled everything down and called it a day. But we lost that, and so we ended up $76 on that first shooter, which is a pretty good start to the day. And we were able to get to that much because we had that hedge with the 7s, because we hit the 7 twice there, so we hadn't hedged. We hit the 7 twice, and I think we hit an 11 as well at some point. Oh no, just the 7s. So we hit those 7s twice. So that would have been $50 we'd lost. And so we would have only been up $26 instead of 76. So that's the hedge coming into play. Okay, 12 craps. So that's the one situation where doesn't help us because we have to replace the $2 we have on the 11. Okay, there's another 7. And so what that means for us is the 2 and 2 cancel each other out. And so we're at 0 rather than positive 2 there. And I went too quick and I forgot to lay the 10 at that point, but luckily we didn't get a 7. That's something I find myself doing when playing electronically, is sometimes I will just rush through to get the roll going and miss out a part of the strategy. So got to make sure I'm paying more attention to that. So there we saw the hedge working again. So that would have been another $25 loss had we not done that. And then we hit a point again, so not great. We don't have a cover for that one. That's just straight up $25 loss. So now we want to hope for now is that we get a 6 and an 8 there before another 7 comes while that point is on to make up for that $25 loss. And then of course we have to build further because we will need to get over another $24 before the 7 comes to protect these ones. So that's sort of, I guess, one of the downsides to this strategy is once you've got that point out, and if you do lose your don't pass, it's a bit of a grind. You've got to be lucky with a longish roll to cover off this. So that's what we can do. Another decent sized roll. Lots of 7s coming through, but the puck still isn't on, so we're just sitting here waiting for a point to be established. There we go. And essentially now to make sure that we're going to be in the green, we need 4 hits. So that's, yeah, a big downside to this strategy is if the point does get hit, you need 4 hits to come out positive. So that's one. What you can do is, because we had a good roll last time, I know I didn't pop it there, but I'm going to be a little bit aggressive and just try and see if we can make a little bit more here, because we'll still be up overall on the day. And not going to happen, so that didn't help us. So that time, what are we down? $36, 49 in total. So that $36 we lost up here, plus the 25 we lost before, but still up $27 overall. Okay, and we'll go for one more. Because we've had some pretty long rolls, you can see 15 for this one, and we went right up to 34 for the last one. This one may be our last roll, but I think we've seen how the strategy works. We saw that when the 7 comes, how we're covered. We didn't see the 11, but it works the same way. If the 11 comes, you get paid, and that covers that one. And then we have seen what you can do once the point is established out here. So not going to get through many shooters today, but they've been long rolls. And quite a lot of outside numbers. You can see here the 3s come 6 times, the 4s comes 5 times, which hasn't been very helpful for us. Like the 6 and the 8 are only 5 and 4, but there's an 8, lovely. We just want to avoid the 5 at this point. We don't mind a 7 coming here because then we make some profit. There we go, which we'll see now. So we lost 24, we won 25, made $1 plus that 14. So if we look here, we're up $13. And that's kind of the way you want this system to work. Long rolls are obviously great because you can take advantage of that. But saying that, we went through 34 shooters, and obviously there's ways you can play to try and maximize how much you're making. We went through 34 rolls and we only made $76, whereas we went through 4 rolls there and we made 13. So if you did that over and over again, you're obviously going to be making more money a bit quicker. So that's kind of, yeah, we love long rolls because it gives us opportunity to get even further and build up if we hit the right numbers. But this is a great result. Get a point established, get 1 or 2 hits on the 6 and 8, and then the 7 comes. Then you've made a little bit of money, and then you're off again, and you're covered. What you don't want to see is lots of points being hit, because then you lose that $25 and you're behind from the get-go. And then one thing we didn't see here as well is in this situation, so if we go back to set it back up again, get this up, what you don't want to see here is you don't want to see a 10 being established as the point, because then you lose $60 and straight away you're way behind, and it's going to take you a while to try and get that back. So we'll call it a day there. Thanks for tuning in, guys. That was the Hedged 678. Hope you liked the video. Just want to say a quick thank you at the end here for everyone who subscribed. We just went over 100 subscribers, which is pretty cool. And if you want to, feel free to hit that button. But I will catch you on the next one. Catch you later, guys.